This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Okay, Thursday today? Thursday. I'm getting a damn calendar. But see, I really don't give a damn what day it is. I really don't. You know, I'm like every true American. These politicians got us working 7 days a week. We don't give a damn what day it is. It's a day. Weather report. It ain't raining no more. It's pretty nice outside. We've got some sun. Weather report's over. Now let's get down to some serious crap. Hey, and with me today, he'll be on momentarily, a gentleman that I just met that I really, just meeting him, I've got a lot of respect for this man because he believes in what he believes in. He's a true American. He's a retired captain in the Air Force, has 2 master's degrees, loves this country. Mr. Gail Red from O'Fallon, Illinois. He is the state commander, the Illinois division commander of the Sons of the Confederate Veterans. And a gentleman dressed like $1 million. This gentleman's not a skinhead. This gentleman's not a Ku Klux Klanner. And I say to the Ku Klux Klan and the skinheads all throughout this country, this is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio. I think you're all idiots. Kiss my white, hairy, stinky ass. That's what I think of the Ku Klux Klan and the skinheads. Now, I respect our Southern brothers in the South. I respect for them to fly their flag. That's their heritage. Gentlemen like Gail Red, and he'll be talking here momentarily, and I want to put this disclaimer. Mr. Red is not here to endorse me, not to endorse what I say, how I say it, or when I say it. Mr. Gail Red is here to talk about the Confederacy, to talk about the proud members of the Confederacy. He's not a skinhead. He's not a Ku Klux Klanner. He's just a normal, average American who fought for our country, 20 years in the Air Force, retired as a captain. He's not one of these kooks. You know, you can take a kook and you can wrap any flag around it, and then you say, oh, look at that flag. Look at that Illinois flag. You got this kook that killed 40 people up at the State House, draped in an Illinois flag. What, are we going to take the Illinois flag down? That flag, hey, I'll give $1 million. $1 million. And when I say something on the air, I have to produce. I will give $1 million if you can get me one flag. I don't give a damn if it was the Nazi flag. And I hate the Nazis for what they did to those innocent Jews. One flag that killed one person. Bring that flag to me. We'll turn it over to the authorities, and I'll give you $1 million. Now, that's the deal. Everybody talks about this flag, this piece of cloth. That's all it is. It's the idiots behind it on one side. You had the Confederate soldiers. On one side fighting for what, and probably not what they thought was right or wrong. Their government told them, hey, let's go out and fight. And that's what they did. You don't think everybody in Vietnam agreed with the Vietnam War? And I guarantee you, everybody in Iraq and Iran fighting to defend us, to keep us free. They're fighting for their country. They're fighting because their political leaders tell them, you got to go fight. You need to go fight. They probably don't agree with the philosophies of this war. Some may agree with all of it. Some may agree with half. Some may agree with none. but they're fighting for their country. They're fighting because their political leaders told them to fight, and it just pisses me off, and we'll get into that. Let's take care of our housekeeping, our little community service, and then we're going to go a little crazy. Lines are always open, toll-free. 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. We are America's voice of freedom. We are definitely the patriot. And it just pisses me off. The Moose Family Fraternity, 5th Annual Golf Tournament coming up this Saturday, July the 11th at the Triple Lakes Golf Course in Millstadt, Illinois. Great cause, the Moose. Great bunch of people out in Belleville, Swansea, post 1221. Like to get you involved in their golf tournament. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call Royce Braden. It's 618-539-6030. St. Damian's Annual Picnic in Damiansville, Illinois. Great people. Love the people out there. One of the few places I went where they didn't try to string me up to the nearest tree. Now, really great people. Damiansville's located, go out 64 to exit 34. Go north about a half a mile, and I believe it's north, and you're there. But they're having their St. Damian's Annual Picnic. Masses, and at the top of this, and these are religious people, they're worried about their picnic on Saturday, July the 11th. But what's at the top of the page? Masses at 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Now, you guys that listen to me, you know I'm not the most religious person in town. And I'm not against religious people, true religious people. I'm against these rotten bastard son of a bitches that beg for money and do nothing. I'm against these son of a bitches, not the Catholic Church. And I think I'll segue into the Catholic Church and the Confederate flag here momentarily. But anyway, St. Damian's Picnic, Saturday, July the 11th. We're going to try to make it out there, folks. They're going to have an all-you-can-eat cafeteria-style supper. I believe they're going to have quilts, cash bingo, going to have games for the children. So if you can make it out to St. Damian's Annual Picnic this Saturday, July the 11th, please do. Also, our good friends in Millstadt, the Millstadt Fireman's Picnic, Saturday and Sunday, July the 10th and the 11th at Liederkranz Park in Millstadt, Illinois. The Well Hungarians will be playing on Friday night, and the Hillbilly Authority, they better watch that, Hillbilly. Now, that's offensive to some people, so we might have to make it Country Authority, who knows. But they'll be out at the Millstadt Fireman's Picnic this Friday and Saturday, July the 10th and 11th. If you can make it out there, please do. The radio station's going to try to be there. We don't drink, but we're crazy when we're sober, so it doesn't make any difference. On this date, July the 9th, 1869, the corncob pipe was invented. And I know where we can store it. It's up these politicians' you know what. Oh, also, a few years later, July the 9th, 1878, an improved corncob pipe was patented by Henry Tibble in Washington, Missouri. That's right down the road from us. On this date, July the 9th, 1893, Dr. Daniel Hale Williams performed the first successful open-heart surgery without using any anesthesia. Now, that's a hell of a guy.
Oh, ouch.
On this date, we got to get some better props. On this date, July the 9th, 1953, the first helicopter passenger service began in New York City. 1953, the first helicopter passenger service. On this date, July the 9th, 1955, the first black executive on the White House staff was E. Frederick Morrow. Now, we're talking black and white. I'd have to say, if I'm a black man, I'm pretty pissed. Didn't have any executive in the White House till 1955. Let's knock down the White House. Let's knock down everything. And don't get me going, people, because it's going to get nasty today. Not on Mr. Red's part, but my part, because when I get going, I get pissed. I don't give a damn. I haven't taken my medication in about 3 weeks, and don't care. On this date, July the 11th, 1966, artificial turf was installed in the Houston Astrodome, coining the phrase AstroTurf. On this date, July the 9th, 1991, South Africa was readmitted into the Olympic after 30 years of exclusion. That's what happened on this date, July the 9th, throughout all these years in our world's history. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com, one word, common spelling. You can like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM for the best in the golden oldies. You can hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. And also now, every Monday through Friday, I'm broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift at the stroke of midnight. I've got one last public service here. Saturday, well, that's Saturday, August the 15th. We'll get to that later. Hey, I want to say hi to all the hardworking men and women for the state of Illinois Department of Transportation. I saw them out this weekend helping with the flood situation, and what a great bunch of guys. I just hope you don't get penalized. I hope you get paid so you can feed your families. These politicians, they're going to get paid no matter what happens. But I want to put a salute out to everyone from the state of Illinois Department of Transportation, and also I want to wish Larry Whaley good health. He's fighting a few medical problems, Larry Whaley, and also his son, Marky. Larry's fighting these problems, and then a little while back, while he's still fighting these problems, his son was involved in a very serious car wreck. And we think we got problems? Come on, people, get off your asses. It's a good day for us. The less fortunate, the people in the hospital, the people that aren't around anymore, the people that aren't eating all throughout this country, they're the ones that should say, hey, what a rotten day. People like me and you that get up every morning, we can go get something to eat. We can live free in this great country. To a lot of people, that never happens. So, guys, I hope the Whaleys both get feeling better. The person that sent me the nasty that I like letter exposing the Senator Foghorn, I say Buckwheat Claiborne, please give me a call at 394-1190. I'd really like to have an in-depth anonymous conversation with you, because this information you give me today, I think, is really, really going to be devastating to that ignorant, no-count, low-life, good-for-nothing. Wait a minute. Let me look at a picture of him. Black man. No, he's not a black man. I want to apologize to the proud black men. He's a plantation Negro. He sells out to these white boys in Belleville. He gets $1 million a year from the poor people in East St. Louis, lives in a $400,000 house, drives a brand new Cadillac. His skin may be black, but he hasn't ever felt the hurt that a proud black person has. So, hey, Senator, I know you monitor the show. Hey, you black son of a bitch, kiss my white stinky ass. Will you please, 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 please? Mike from Belleville, thank you very much for the information. And he puts P.S. on this letter. And Aim Quito was my friend till the end. And he'll always be my friend. The Quito's great people. P.S. Quito would really be proud of your work here. So Mike from Belleville, thank you very much. I appreciate all the letters you guys send out. Kevin Novak, I agree with everything you say. Thank you very much. Kim Dyers, I didn't want to not miss you, and you're right. That was me in that picture, so thank you very much. And Kathy Craig, thank you for all your information, and we appreciate it. I can't read most of them because we don't have enough time. But Harry Carey. Not really. This is Harry Carey, now coaching for the Althoff Crusaders. The one, the only, number 36, Mr. Randy Wells. Yeah. Hey. Thank you very much. I want to congratulate Randy Wells, a local Belleville hero who played Major League Baseball with the Chicago Cubs. He's just been hired and named as the head coach for the Althoff Crusaders, their varsity baseball team. And I say, Althoff Crusaders, you couldn't get a nicer gentleman, both on and off the field. Randy Wells, what a nice gentleman. I know his parents. Actually, I went to school with both of his parents, Gail Casper Wells and Faury Wells Sr. They're also great people, and I know, Faury and Gail, you're very proud of your son, Randy. I met Randy a little while back, and really impressed me. What a nice young gentleman. He's the new coach. He played for the Cubs for several years, and like anything else, sometime you got to go, and when it's time to go, you go. And I think Randy had an arm problem. I wish he hadn't, because when he was in good health, he was one hell of a pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. But again, I just want to congratulate Randy Wells for being, I don't know, I want to congratulate Althoff High School for being intelligent enough and smart enough to bring somebody aboard with as much qualifications, with as much integrity. And I'll tell you, even more than that, Randy Wells, now I don't give a damn if the Althoff Crusaders are 1-30 next year in their baseball season. But what I do know, maybe they'll have a losing season, and hopefully not, but I know Mr. Randy Wells will give 1,000%. He'll bring all of his integrity. He'll bring all of his knowledge. He'll bring all of his talent to the nice young men. And I guess there'll be women playing with in major leagues one of these days. But Randy Wells will bring all of his talents to Althoff High School. And again, I want to congratulate Randy Wells and thank Althoff High School for making such a great choice. Randy Wells, the new coach of the Althoff Crusaders baseball team. I'm going to go ahead and I guess go here with me. Well, no, I don't. First, I want to say you heard me about this Confederate flag situation, and it pisses me off, and it's getting legs like the Ferguson situation did. Actually, even worse. We talk about, let's get rid of that Confederate flag. I've never in my life heard of a flag hurting somebody. I've heard of people hurting somebody. I've heard of people using the flag as a backdrop for a picture. But for us as true Americans, to take this Confederate flag situation as far as we've taken it, I think we're all a bunch of idiots. I think we're all a bunch of idiots. It's a flag, people. And with Abraham Lincoln, I talked about Abraham Lincoln yesterday. He wasn't for slavery. And so the blacks, hey, and I'm not talking bad about the black people. Got a lot of good black friends. But the truth of the matter is, Abe Lincoln wasn't your friend. He wanted to free you. He wanted to free you to take you back to Africa. He wanted to free you to take you back. Now, that's a history lesson. And if it pisses you off, hey, wait a minute. It pisses me off that Abe Lincoln wanted to free the slaves so they could go back to Africa, because Abe Lincoln said, and I quote, he began going on to say that he opposed blacks having the right to vote, to serve on juries, and to hold office, and to intermarry with white ladies. That's a fact, people, both black and white. Listen to me, that's a fact. But I want to say, on the other hand, I believe Abe Lincoln was a great president. Do I believe Abe Lincoln was perfect? Hell no. I love my pop. Do I believe he was perfect? Hell no. Nobody's perfect. We can't change this part of history with Abe Lincoln. We can't just remember the good times in your life. You can't remember just the good times. You got to remember the bad times, and you got to play off the bad times, and you got to learn from the bad times. But you can't change the bad times. You can't forget about the bad times, because in this life, if you don't want bad times and your parents don't want bad times for you, when you're born, they better do something with you, because when you grow up in this great country, the United States of America, it promises us freedoms. It doesn't promise us pleasure every day. It doesn't promise us happiness. You see anything in the Constitution, happiness? No. The Bill of Rights? No. Freedom. Freedom is what they offer. And that's the best thing. I can make myself happy. I won't even go there. I can make myself happy. You can make yourself happy. But we have to focus, people, on that one word, freedom. And freedom for me is I can do what I want. I can express my opinion and not get in trouble for it. That's what freedom is for you. Why? I ask. And I'm not shilling for the Confederate Army, the sons of the Confederate veterans. I'm being honest. And black and white, if you sit down and you think about it, you don't have to like what, now listen, you don't have to like what you believe that Confederate flag stands for, because there's other people, and Mr. Red, that I'll be talking to here momentarily, he's one that I'm sure has a different take on what the Confederate flag means to him. So what are you going to tell Mr. Red? Hey, no, you can't think that way. Are you crazy? This is the United States of America, people. See, we always get past that. And that's the only thing we should never get past in this great country, this great United States of America. And people tell me every day, hey, Romanik, you take it a little bit too far about loving this country. I say, you no good, ignorant, stupid son of a bitches. And I say that every day to somebody. And I mean this. You don't like this country? Get the hell out. But what I hate are people that take all the advantages of being an American and they want to talk down this great country of ours. I say to all them, every one of them, you kiss my proud American red, white, and blue hairy ass. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state. Listen, people, America's bi-state voice of freedom, and proud to be your First Amendment and all-American station. Radical radio sometimes, and sometimes you gotta be radical. And we stand tall and proud as the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. I was talking off the air, and you've heard me before. I'm thinking about running for state rep against Eddie the Gerbil Jackson. He's a black man, but on this same theme. My campaign slogan ought to be, elect me. And East St. Louis is in the whole district, Washington Park, where most proud black people live. Elect me, and I will fight to end the slavery below the hill. And you guys are living on the plantation because these white boys in Belleville, they won't give you the opportunity. I was poor white trash. I lived with you many, many years. They wouldn't give me the opportunity. We weren't in their little group, their little clan. And you talk about the Ku Klux Klan, the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, they'd take front row at any parade with the Ku Klux Klan if they didn't need the black votes. But having said that, and the last thing before I get to Mr. Red, I hear now that they can't use Redskins for the Washington Redskin football team. And when I heard they can't use the name, I thought, hey, everybody in Washington's listening to Bob Romanik. Because you heard me a couple days ago, I said, we got to get Washington off everything. I thought they honestly, when they said they couldn't use the name Washington Redskins, I thought they knocked out Washington because he was a big slave owner. And you proud blacks and everybody that's fighting to get rid of this Confederate flag. If we do that, we're going to have to it's a matter of principle. It's a matter of fairness. If we get rid of that Confederate flag, we got to get rid of everything with George Washington's name on it. The monument. We got to blow up Mount Rushmore. You can't have it one way because it fits your needs and not have it the other way and forget about it. No. If you're going to you can't go to the store and say, give me a half of a tomato. You take the whole damn tomato. If part of it's rotten, you cut it out. But you got to take the whole tomato. And in this great country, you got to take the whole situation. So if anybody, black or white, we're going to get rid of the name Redskins. Is that what we're going to do here in this great United States of America? After everything we did to the poor Native Indians? And my ancestors were probably part of it. None of us are perfect. We can't forget about that history. We can't forget about flying that Union flag, that great flag that I love, the Union Jack. You can't forget when they pulled up on the Indian reservations. It wasn't a war, the Confederacy against the Union. It was a massacre. It was a slaughter. Our troops went in there, killed men, women, children. And I still love this great country, just as I love my father, who made mistakes, just as I love my mother, my son, who make mistakes. This is our family, this great United States of America, and our family's going to make mistakes. I didn't forget about it when my son got in trouble in school. I wrapped my arms around him and said, son, we'll work through this, and we did. I still haven't forgot about it. It's part of our history, our family's history. And the Confederate flag, and I mean this with all sincerity, it's part of our American history, our American heritage. We can't destroy the Confederate flag, just like we can't destroy every monument that is in honor of George Washington, in honor of Thomas Jefferson, because if we destroy and get rid of this Confederate flag, try to change history, try to reinvent history, then the next step is reinvent history on everything. And before it's all over, our country won't have any history other than, the only thing I'm going to remember in my family's history is our birthday parties with the cake and the balloons and the hats. I'm not going to remember my dear Uncle John dying of cancer. I'm not going to remember that because it was something bad. The hell you don't. You remember the good, the bad. You learn from all of it. I took a colonoscopy because of the cancer, colon cancer, and I was clean. But I learned from that horrible incident. I'm not going to forget about my Uncle John. It was a bad part of our life, but it was a part of our family's history, and the Confederate flag is part of our family's history. And last but not least, I got to say, and I didn't want to make light of it, these ignorant, stupid, idiot, height challenge, laterally challenged people, midgets, now they want to change the name of the Freeburg Midgets mascot because the height challenged people, is that politically correct? I'm calling them midgets because that's what I want to call them. Now, if they think that's offensive, fine, but it's not offensive to me, and I don't mean it as offensive. I grew up with that word. We're going to change the word? Let's get it out of the dictionary. Let's get all these words out of the dictionary. But these idiots are in town, and now they want to change the name of the mascot for the Freeburg Midgets. I say, guys, you short guys, jump up and kiss my ass because you're not tall enough. And I'm not trying to make fun of you. You guys have put yourself in a bad position. Now you're going to demand, and that's what it read in the paper. They're demanding that the Freeburg change the name of their mascot from the midgets after all these years. How politically incorrect can we get? If people say ugly, hey, I'm an ugly son of a bitch. Let's take that out of the dictionary. Don't ever call me an ugly son of a bitch because I'm offended. If you don't want to be offended in your life, crawl in a box, will you? Because you've got every right to live free. There's no guarantee that you're not going to be offended. Speaking of being offended, I'm sure my guest is probably offended by the way I'm talking. And again, what I say is what I say, people. Not what Mr. Red has to say. It's what I say. Mr. Red, he's a veteran. He's a veteran of our United States Air Force. He's a nice gentleman, very well-educated gentleman, but he's also the commander, and I hope I could get this information out because I forget it. He's a commander of the Illinois chapter of the Sons of the Confederate Veterans. So, Mr. Red, it really is an honor and a privilege to have you here and hear, like, who was the guy on TV? The rest of the story, Paul Harvey. We'd like to hear from you the rest of the story. How the hell you doing, sir?
Bob, I'm doing great. It's great to be here with you. Thank you so very much. I don't know that I can be nearly as animated as you one way or the other, but hopefully in these few moments that we have together, we can share some information.
See, you're politically correct. What you were thinking, I don't know if I can be as big as loudmouth idiot as you, but thanks for cleaning that up. Gail, I've got a brochure here, and it talks about the Confederacy. It talks about the proud people of the Confederacy. And I don't like it when everybody thinks of the Confederate flag, thinks about slavery, thinks about bad things. There were good things that come out of the Confederate flag. It's a symbol for whatever you want it to be a symbol. It's whatever's in my mind or your mind. And the Confederate flag never, to me, was a symbol of hatred. It was a symbol of the Confederate Army who were fighting, I guess, to keep the slaves. I didn't agree with that, but I never hated that. And I'm a guy from the North. I'm a guy from East St. Louis. Got a lot of proud black friends. I never hated that flag, but now there's these politically correct bastards. They're trying to push thoughts and ideas in my head to make me hate that flag, and I just can't do it.
Bob, you're absolutely right. The flag is not about hate. It never was about hate. The flag itself, the battle flag, the one that everybody is talking about, was originated in 1865. It came about strictly as a result of the first national flag of the Confederacy as it was flown on the battlefield of Manassas, appearing to be a U.S. flag, and there was a lot of confusion. And after General Beauregard saw that, he had it changed, and it took Congress 2.5 years to make it happen. Government is always so quick about things. But in the process of it, he created the battle flag. And a battle flag was not a governmental flag. It was a flag of the soldiers. It was a flag for the soldiers to follow in battle, to know where to go, how to go, and what to do. And it is in fact, it's a religious symbol. It's the St. Andrew's cross superimposed with the 13 stars of the 13 states of the Confederacy.
Gail, can I ask you a serious question? Do you respect the Confederate flag?
I absolutely love the Confederate flag, sir.
Are you a racist?
I am not a racist, sir. No, sir.
Do you agree with the Ku Klux Klan?
No, sir. The Ku Klux Klan is one of the many organizations that we, in fact, are vehemently opposed to.
Aryan Nation. You for the Aryan Nation?
No, sir. We have nothing to do with them and will not allow them or Klan members or Council of Concerned Citizens or any of the racist organizations to have membership in our organization.
But you know what the news media wants to put out to everybody? If you're for that Confederate flag, that you're somewhat of a racist because it was used as a symbol of racism, and it was. That Confederate flag, it laid there. It flew there in the South. Here's these idiots from the Ku Klux Klan. Hey, I like the way that flag looks. It's from the South. Since they fought against the North for slavery, we're going to use that as our symbol. Well, the Confederate people, the Confederate flag had nothing to do with what these ignorant bastards are doing. They had nothing to do with this stupid, ignorant bastard that rots in hell, Hope rots in hell, that killed those 9 innocent black people.
You know, Bob, we have the greatest sympathy for those 9 people that were massacred there in Charleston. But that massacre of those citizens had nothing to do with the battle flag, had nothing to do with our organization, had nothing to do with the heritage of the South. That was one crazy son of a gun that acted on his own and has nothing to do with us. The battle flag never was about slavery, never. It is a soldier's flag. Did not fly over the slaves at one time. It is strictly a soldier's flag so they would know what to do in battle. Yeah. We are so proud of that flag because of what those Confederate soldiers did and what they tried to achieve.
Yeah. You know, it's a symbol, just as our United States flag is a symbol. And when you see a symbol people, because of their beliefs, because of their experiences in life, that symbol looks the same, but it doesn't always mean the same to people, Gail.
You are absolutely right, Bob. You know, the one thing about the flag, I hear so many times people say, well, that was the flag of the Ku Klux Klan. Well, people don't realize that the Ku Klux Klan, there's been 3 different Ku Klux Klans in America in the last 150 years. The first one immediately following the war was there to try to save the people of the South from the scalawags of the North who had come down to impose Reconstruction on the South. Had nothing to do with slavery or attacking slaves. The second reincarnation of the Ku Klux Klan was about 1920, and during that period of time, the Ku Klux Klan adopted the flag as one of their symbols. Their main symbol has always been the U.S. flag. It was then, it is now. The main symbol of that organization, which is undoubtedly racist and hateful. We have nothing to do with them, and just because they use our sacred emblem that way doesn't make our emblem less. It makes them wrong for using a symbol improperly.
Yeah, Gail, I agree with everything you've said. I wish people would I would wish this was television, because you're a well-dressed man. I told someone yesterday I've got the leader, the state of Illinois leader for the Sons of the Confederate Veterans, and who's going to support the Confederate flag. And he says, man, I bet you them guys are crazy. You know what? You're the epitome of what an American citizen is. You've got a good education. You fought for your country. You're a career Air Force captain. But I don't know when and how this got out of hand with this Confederate flag. Now, I know a lot of the blacks don't like it for what it symbolizes to them.
Right.
And I understand that. But what it symbolizes to you is totally something different. But the black community, the liberal white community, and I'm a proud white man, but I'm not proud of what's going on. I think, and I mean this, I love my country. You'll never find another radio show that'll take, people say waste, and that's bull crap, that'll take time out to remember our veterans and our families that have passed on before us. Nobody other than Bob Romanik, because I am a true patriot. I am a true veteran. But when my family member does something wrong, heaven forbid my kid goes out and gets in a wreck and kills somebody, I can love him. I'll defend him. But he was wrong. He was wrong because he was driving recklessly. And that's the same way in this great country. I love this American flag. But I have to say, people, it's a matter of fairness, a matter of principle. If that Confederate flag can't fly, then we might as well take the United States of America flag down, because that United States of America flag, Old Glory, to me, is a symbol of freedom. And freedom is to let everybody do what they want. Right or wrong, Gail?
You are absolutely right, Bob. You know, for 150 years, the government of the United States, in my opinion, has conducted cultural genocide against the people of the South. This is just the capstone of it, and they are trying to eradicate our history, our heritage, and I strongly oppose in every way that I can that happening. But it's not, you know, we say that we are proud Americans. We're American by birth, Southern by the grace of God. And we really believe that. We are proud of our heritage. We are proud of the Confederate soldiers who fought so bravely during that conflict. Whether someone else agrees with why they fought or how they fought, we are proud of them, and we want to remember them. And that's what our organization is about. We're a military heritage organization, just like the Sons of the American Revolution, and the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War. In fact, the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War has just put out a General Order number 26, Series 2014-15, that completely 100% stands in back of the SCV display of the battle flag where it's appropriate. And, we are so very thankful for our brothers of the Sons of Union Veterans for that support.
And we got to go to a quick break, but I will give you a quote, and I'm paraphrasing it, of course, because I'm not smart enough to remember it, from Voltaire. You know what Voltaire said? He said, "I may not agree with what you have to say, but I'll defend to my death your right to say it." Now, that's a true American spirit. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. We've got some calls. Let's go ahead. We're going to take one caller. Hey, Paul, you've got about a minute because we're running out of time. What's your comment, buddy?
I'm just going to take a minute, and I just wanted to thank you and congratulate the gentleman on the air as a Southerner, and we don't have time for all that, but would he elaborate, or have time to elaborate a little bit about, wasn't there blacks in the Confederate Army, and a few years ago there was a gentleman on television that was talking about the blacks that fought for the Confederacy. And one other thing, is he aware that the two midgets, one midget up there, Clay in North St. Louis, and Slay, the midget down here in St. Louis, is that they want to take the monument out of Forest Park and change the name of the... Oh, what are they going to do? They're going to tear the old courthouse down, too, where they sold slaves?
Hey, Paul.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Hey, Paul, okay, and thank you. But, Paul, I got to tell you, and then I'm going to get to Gail again. Here's the premise. And somebody called me, and even with the gun to my head, you're not going to make me believe. If we take this Confederate flag and all of us as true Americans don't fight, we don't have to agree with what the Confederate Army stood for, but we have to agree with this is America, freedoms. If they're going to take that Confederate flag down, who never owned a slave, then we got to take every George Washington monument down because he owned 350 slaves. The flag stood for something. That's somebody's verbiage. That's somebody's symbol. But George Washington actually owned slaves. So if we're going to do that for the Confederate flag and disrespect, I say, the Confederate flag, which we shouldn't, we're going to have to take down everything with Washington, with Jefferson, with Madison, with Monroe, because they were sitting presidents that owned slaves. Gail, we don't have much time. How can people get a hold of you? How can they research what you're about, and maybe from the South, maybe they want to belong? How can people contact you?
Bob, thank you very much. First off, just real quickly, I want to thank Paul for his comments. Paul, please as I give the contact information, please get a hold of me on a personal basis, and I'll be glad to answer all the questions and concerns that you raised, because they're important ones, and I think you need those answers. Bob, people can get a hold of me through my email address, GALERED yahoo.com. You can get a hold of our camp website here locally at www.scvcamp1962.org. We encourage you to come and learn more about your history, not just our history, but the history of our country and how this all played out. We'd be delighted to hear from you.
Mr. Gail Red, Gail, I got to have you back on again maybe in the next couple of weeks because there's a lot of things we didn't touch on that I'd like to touch on. But I do have to say, it was a great experience meeting you, Gail, because you're not a skinhead. You're not a Ku Klux Klaner. You didn't come in with a white hood on. You came in as a proud American, fighting for your heritage, fighting for our heritage, everybody's heritage and freedom. So I want to salute you for that. I hope people will go to your website because this is not the Confederate flag that most people see in their minds because there's a backdrop of the Ku Klux Klan, there's a backdrop of the Aryan Nation. No, this is a backdrop of a proud American who has served our great country, an educated American who believes in the South. And maybe I don't believe what the South stood for on some plane, but I agree that is part of our history, and they have every right to remember their history, just as we have every right to remember our history against the Native American Indians. And I'm not Native American. I don't have a dog in that fight. But it's all the same. It's a matter of principle. We can't, as true Americans, black and white, we can't let this flag debacle go any further, because if we do, the next step is the American flag. The next step is the George Washington Monument. And if that's the philosophy you're going to have, that flag, the Confederate flag, stood for slavery, then not only did the flag stand for slavery, but George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Monroe, Jackson, Van Buren, our presidents, they endorsed slavery. So let's get rid of Mount Rushmore. Let's get rid of all of our symbols of the past. And let's just remember the good things. Let's forget about the Japanese in World War II. We got to forget about that. Flying no rising sun flag. And people say, Romanik, you're taking it a little bit too far. No, I say in this situation, I'm not taking it far enough. Mr. Gail Red, thank you very much, sir. Sure appreciate it. Once again, I want to thank, and I want to thank Althoff High School, the Althoff Crusaders, for making a great choice. And I want to congratulate again Mr. Randy Wells, the local Belleville hero, who is now the head coach. I guess it's the manager in high school too. The manager of the Althoff Crusaders baseball team. You couldn't have picked a better person, Althoff Crusaders. So again, thank you very much, and congratulations, Randy Wells, on a position that's going to be well deserved, and I'm sure you're going to represent the Althoff Crusaders baseball program very, very well. In passing and in parting, people, I have to say, I am a true American. I'm not a racist. But what I am against, blacks and whites, taking a situation, spinning it, twisting it, turning it, and trying to make it something it isn't. And this Confederate flag, maybe I disagree with some of their philosophies, but more so than that, I agree with all the philosophies of this great United States of America. And this great United States of America philosophy is, let everyone live free. Everyone, you hear me? Everyone live free. And that's what we do in this great country. And I will say, if we stop flying this Confederate flag where people want to fly it, let's take down Old Glory. Because at that point, Old Glory is nothing but stars and stripes, nothing but a piece of tattered cloth, because it will never again stand for the symbol of freedom. And that's what this country's all about. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice. of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll be wherever you good people want to be, because we are America's voice of freedom. Tomorrow, I want to touch on the midgets again. I want the midgets to be pissed off. If we're going to get pissed off at the Confederate flag, let's get pissed off at the midgets. Let's get pissed off at the white guys. Let's get pissed off at the politicians. Let's get pissed off at people that we just want to get pissed off about. It's got to stop, people. Here in this great United States, we're intelligent people. We're an intelligent people. We're a proud people. Let's don't make each other look stupid. Let's don't embarrass ourselves in front of the world court, in front of the world stage. Let's be proud of who we are, and let's let everyone else be proud of who they are, because that's what we do in this country. We live and let live. We live free. And we can continue to live free. And we can continue, as we do every day, to expose the political arm of this country, the negative political arm, the political arm that's trying to destroy us and our future generations. And always remember that we have to unite as one, as great Americans, to take back this great country, this great philosophy of ours that our forefathers fought and died for on both sides of the line. So let's continue and let's work and get together so we can expose, we can drag these no good son of a bitchin' political, parasitical, perverted punk bitches, and then destroy them so we can live a free, a safe, and prosperous life in this great United States of America. Destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.